There are some bridges that need crossing, some alternate bridges that need crossing. And today we will cross Alter Bridge. Welcome to MPJ New Album Review Show. I'm Nigel, I've got Will, I've got Pete, I've got Lauren, I've got Trish. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty decent.
Johnny good? Well, today is the return of Alter Bridge and their album self-entitled Alter Bridge. There seems to be a lot of that recently, isn't it? Namesaking albums, and normally for a debut album you expect it, but not for somebody who's produced several albums. Alter Bridge are returning, ladies and gentlemen. We previously reviewed Alter Bridge with Pawns and Kings, and it got a 3.6 off us, and is currently in our top 300 albums of all time. How will the self-entitled Alter Bridge album compare? Well, let's kick off with the guy who holds up this podcast with his supported arc in bridges. Only Simon's not here, so we'll go to Pete. Pete, what do you think, mate?
I'm more into burning bridges, really, but yeah, I've been fearing this day that we've had to review Alter Bridge on this podcast, because I've got very little to say about Alter Bridge one way or the other. Like, a mate of mine is a big fan of Alter Bridge, and whenever he brings it up, I just give him the look. Like, I don't scave him, I don't yell at him, I don't get angry, I just judge silently, because I've got a perfect two-word description for this band, which I will say for later. But this basically, to me, sounds like it could have been generated by AI. This is like the most white-bread rock music there is. This is rock music for people who think mayonnaise is spicy. People who vacation to the same destination year in, year out, preferably in their own country. You know, this is just such... And it's not bad. Like, the guy's got a pretty good voice. Some pretty decent solos in there. But whenever I listen to Alter Bridge, I'm like... Who the hell listens to this? This is so... I'm going to save the word. I'm going to save it for the two-word review. But yeah, that is just how I feel about Alter Bridge. Like, what kind of perfectly average, run-of-the-mill person would listen to this?
Wow, welcome to the room. Welcome to the room, I think, is probably what's going on. Well, welcome to the room of some of those people. Lauren.
You guys think mayonnaise is spicy?
Only when I put Tabasco in it.
Yeah.
So, Alter Bridge. It was one of those albums where I think I'll put it in the more English trying to be polite way than Pete does it. It is music that, whilst good, will not challenge you if that's what you're looking for in your music. You can put it on and you know what you're going to get. It's not going to push the envelope of anything, really. It made from the non-vocal remnants of Creed. It's a sound that's been dipped in many genres over time. So, like, just looking up, because as I was listening to the album, I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit of that, that's a bit of that. All the rock music that I was shown sort of growing up, I was like, oh, I can hear a little bit of that there, a little bit of that there, that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, okay, so it feels like they've got a very base sort of level of the white bread, here's the base what we're going from, and they just put different toppings on the toast as they ran through. So there's sort of like elements of American hard rock. They've tried to put prog in there, metal, post-grunge. And whilst that makes for a fun listen that you can have on in the background so you don't mind it, for me, it doesn't really sort of grab you by the haunches and go, right, you need to sit down and listen to it. It's very much, some people don't like the term, but to me it was very dad rock. Like, it's the sort of thing that I'd expect to sit in the camper van with my dad, him turn it on and be like, right, cool, this is what we've got as we're going on one of our holidays in the UK. Down to Cornwall or something. Yeah. So it was one of those where it was perfectly serviceable, perfectly acceptable, but I do like a little bit of heavy shock value in my music sometimes. But it is one of those where it'll be in one of my playlists, tucked in the back of my music service somewhere. And it's like, okay, if I want a rocky vibe, but I don't want to have to pay attention to it too much, it'll be there.
That is an apt description.
Ooh, not good so far. Then let's go to these one of these people who likes a little bit of dad rock. Maybe. Do you agree with any of that, Trish, or is that a load of baloney?
Like I always say, music is subjective to each person that listens to it. So, and everyone gets something different from it. For me, the first thing, a self-titled album is usually reserved as for a debut album. So it's quite interesting that Alter Bridge has chosen to do this on their 8th release. It naturally raises the question, is this a statement album, a fresh start, a reinvention? For me, there's a sense that the band is reflecting on experience and emotions over the past few years, channeling them into something purposeful, while not deviating from their sound. This is a band who are confident in who they are. From the pounding opening track, Miles Kennedy's instantly recognisable vocals with authority, making it clear that Alter Bridge are back and back strong. For me, standout tracks like Hanging by a Thread and Slaves to the Master perfectly highlight everything the band does. This self-titled release isn't about reinvention, it's about reaffirmation. Alter Bridge sound focused, assured, and for long-time listeners, this album feels like a welcome return, just like the band themselves.
Ooh, now always a welcome return whenever we come round to him, of course, is William. William, Alter Bridge, fan, not fan?
So, in my opinion, right, sometimes you have music that doesn't have to be the most technically amazing, doesn't have to be your genre, doesn't have to be the best thing, but you just sit down and just really enjoy listening, just have a good time with it. You're discovering a lot of new bands, you've been dipping your toes in other things, you have one like a nice safe thing to go back to. I really like Alter Bridge. You're not really after anything super exceptional, super amazing, super... I saw them live a few years ago when they were being supported by Hailstorm. Obviously went there to see Hailstorm and had to then sit through watching them, and they're incredible. My one gripe is recorded albums don't do them justice. In terms of raw rock singers, he is one of the most talented singers that I've heard, but it never carries over to the recorded material for them. Like, you wouldn't necessarily grasp how good his vocals actually are when you just listen to an album. But that being said, I just had a nice time with it. I sat back, listened to it while I was ill a few weeks ago. Just had a nice time. Used it as a soundtrack for a couple of my runs. It got me through doing those, so clearly it must be alright. It's just good. Mark Tremonti is a brilliant guitarist. He does some fantastic stuff. It's good if you're after just like a solid rock album. Doesn't do anything exceptional, nothing out there, nothing super crazy. This is the perfect thing for
it. So the great thing about Alter Bridge is that they are exceptionally. I agree with what actually a lot of Will says, but taking some of the other comments as well, because I kind of feel somewhere kind of a little bit between the two, really, because Alter Bridge, they more dabble in that kind of heavy melodic rock. I mean, that influence of Mark Tremonti. Tremonti's solo album last year was very heavy, a very kind of heavy melodic kind of rock, and I never really ventured out of that. And then you kind of compare, this month to Soaring, who really kind of play in that same sort of space, and other great bands that we play to, like Black Orchid Empire and White Raven Down, and some of the really cool comes through. And when you play heavy melodic rock, you have to either kind of push it, you have to get a little bit heavier or a little bit lighter, and you have to vary it up really to kind of make that album interesting. And Alter Bridge is very vanilla. in that sense. Really, they kind of do what they do, and they do it really well. But it's track after track, really, without kind of, I don't know, varying it up in any shape, way, or format. So it's a very enjoyable, nice listen to, without going, oh wow, which the likes of Tremonti and stuff can really kind of do. So I just think that Alter Bridge play it safe. Really, they kind of go, like, well, this is what we're just going to deliver. It's like kind of a commercially attempted version of heavy melodic rock, and in most of the time, it kind of works. You're absolutely right. You can whack it in the car, listen to it on a run, and it's really nice, easy kind of listening to, really. But it's really no more than that, other than a nice, enjoyable album. It just doesn't set my heart on fire with some of the bands that play in this space. I mean, go and listen to Soaring from last month, which I thought was just like got my first 5 of the year. So absolutely fantastic. Right, okay, let's find out then, shall we? Pawns and Kings got 3.6. What will Alter Bridge kind of do from that way? My printer's broken, so apologies for looking at my phone, but that's just life. Okay, so Pete, then let's start with you, then, my friend.
Yes, the perfect white bread score, 2.5.
Okay, Lauren.
I went around about the same. I gave it a 3.
Oh, okay. Well, Simon agrees with Pete, 2.5. Trish?
I gave it a 3.5.
Did. William?
As a man who goes to a coffee shop and orders a vanilla latte no matter what, I gave it a 4.
And I would be sat there with my vanilla latte. I also give it a 4. Okay, so we'll drop Simon. As Simon's not here, we'll drop Simon's 2.5, which give this a score of 3.4. Really, so in our opinion, our humble opinion, is not as good as Kings and Pawns, really. 370 out of 656 albums, so it's certainly not going to get into our album of the year category from that perspective. What do you guys think out there? But before we do, we're going to hit you with our 2-word review, starting with Pete.
Yeah, I've been avoiding the word my entire review, and I don't think you guys used it. This is generic rock.
Funny enough, I use generic rock when I'm rating that bands as to the sort of genre before I select them in there. So I use it all the time, but not in my 2-word review. Lauren?
Easy listening.
And Trish?
Dependably strong.
Ooh, and talking dependably strong, William.
Vanilla latte.
Ropey Bridge. Okay, right. Leave your 2-word review. Hit the like and subscribe button. Tune in for the next episode. Keep on rocking, and goodbye from us.